Brazil's new president has been in office less than 100 days, and already he's making seismic changes to South America's largest nation. Jair Bolsonaro will meet President Donald Trump at the White House Tuesday for his first overseas bilateral meeting since taking office. The two leaders are expected to discuss a wide range of issues, including trade, the crisis in Venezuela, and steps to strengthen relations between our two countries. Shortly after his Oval Office visit, Bolsonaro will sit down for an exclusive interview with CBN News senior international correspondent George Thomas to discuss the significance of his historic win. And George joins us now from the White House for a preview of President Bolsonaro's visit. George, what can we expect of the Brazilian leader's visit with President Trump tomorrow?
He arrives here at the White House promptly at noon, and between noon and 1:45, he will meet with President Trump. They will have a luncheon and talk about these issues that you just mentioned. Trade is foremost on the agenda. So too is the ongoing crisis in in Venezuela. As you know, thousands of Venezuelans have sought refuge in neighboring Brazil as the crisis continues to unfold. President Bolsonaro took the unusual step weeks ago to side with the United States along with some 60 other nations, calling for the socialist dictator in Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, to step down. And so the president will use his meeting tomorrow to talk about ways they can continue to put the political as well as the economic squeeze on Maduro. They're going to be talking about closer relations between these two countries. By the way, the United States is a second largest trading partner with Brazil next to China. Clearly, this is an administration, compared to previous administrations, Mark, that wants closer ties with the United States, wants closer ties with Israel. So that is going to be on top of the agenda during their meeting tomorrow.
Bolsonaro is an admirer of the president, correct?
He actually is. In fact, commentators in Brazil like to call him the Trump of the tropics. Some call him the Brazilian Trump. He has this admiration for President Trump, partly because, like President Trump, President Bolsonaro is an outsider, a political outsider. He basically came from political obscurity and had a message of fighting widespread corruption, fighting the leftist agenda that has dominated Brazilian politics for a very, very long time, and he wanted to restore the sort of identity, especially the Christian identity of Brazil. He wanted to fight for the family, the institution of the family. He has said so many times that the leftist agenda has, in essence, attacked and launched an all-out assault on Brazil's family institution, and he has promised to roll back those efforts to fight against the leftist agenda. And so, yes, he is seen as sort of an admirer of Trump. He, like Trump, loves social media. He's a master, in fact, at social media. He avoids mainstream media, doing television interviews, and so he goes directly to his supporters by taking to Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram.
Was President Bolsonaro's victory a political earthquake for South America's largest nation, George?
It absolutely has been. I mean, this is the first time in Brazil's democratic era that you have a conservative leader. As I mentioned, Brazilian politics since the fall of the sort of military dictatorship in the early 80s, this is the first time that Brazil has had a non-leftist government, and it has clearly sent a political earthquake, not just in Brazil, but across South America and Latin America.
And quickly, what can you tell us about his faith?
He's a Catholic. He's married to Michelle, also Bolsonaro, who is an evangelical who attends a Baptist church. Let me also mention that tomorrow evening, CBN News has an exclusive interview just a few steps away from here at the Blair House. That is where foreign dignitaries and heads of state get a chance to come and stay. And we will have a one-on-one interview, which will then air on the CBN News channel. You can catch it right here on Wednesday.
Okay, all right. Our senior international correspondent, George Thomas, reporting from the White House. Thank you, George.
You're welcome.